You.
Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm sorry to be kind of cryptic about my emergency, but
Okay.
basically my son showed up in DC as kind of planned, and I don't know if I mentioned that he called me or I called him and he picked up the phone and said, "Oh, I'm in Nashville." And I was like,
No,
"What?"
no, you didn't say that.
And then he was like, and we're on our way to a trade show in Mobile, Alabama. And then I was
What?
like, what? For their like organic seed business that they run, they were going, 7 of them were in a van driving across country, going to a trade show to produce, to promote their product. Um, and so he said, we're actually going to come back to DC and spend a couple of days just to make sure we don't have COVID before we go back to the commune. So it's like a work assignment, right? So they go, he has a great time. He finds out that he loves talking to organic farmers and other, or, whatever. Like, and he came back, and in DC, they were still doing like the follow-on calls and stuff. And he was pretty psyched. I guess they got back to DC Saturday, maybe. And then on Tuesday, he wasn't feeling well and he got COVID. So
The whole van full of them?
so the whole van full of them, I mean, and otherwise he would have been staying at my house if it hadn't been a whole van full of them. So they're staying, I guess, the hippies have connections wherever you go, I guess. So they're staying in some like group home, in DuPont Circle.
Wow.
And so he was the first to feel sick and got a rapid test and was positive. So they like locked him in a bedroom, and he's the only one who's gotten sick so far. Everybody else has been fine. And one reason I've been kind of like trying to figure out my schedule is that the library in DC will let you get 4 free rapid tests and 2 free PCR kits every day.
What?
With your ID.
Holy shit, every day?
Every day, yeah. So I've been like, but the library's open till like 6, right? So I have to like bust my tail down there at 5 to get the COVID tests and then take them over to him, which is actually worth it. Like, I mean, because there's 7 of them that are trying to test every day, right?
Yeah.
So rather than buying them,
yeah. Honestly, I'm like,
so I've
right
been
now,
like this like COVID test mule for this group.
I know, but you're just like doing the ultimate mom thing. You're like getting COVID tests for all the hippies to make sure they're all safe, and you're delivering. Yes, mom. Those other mothers need to know how fantastic.
And so, and then of course I've been taking like orange juice and, all
Oh.
that stuff over there. But but I had other thing. Well, one, the library closes at 6. So I have to get there before 6 to get my free tests. But then I also had other evening commitments for some of the volunteer work I do and stuff like that. So anyway, I just didn't like, suddenly my 1 hour between 5 and 6 was full.
Yeah.
But today I came into my office because the DC Department of Health is downstairs, so I can get them
more tests.
Yeah. But they only have the PCRs. They don't have the rapid tests here.
I can't even imagine how that house full of hippies is. They're just like, this is the jackpot.
Well, I think, I mean, everybody has figured out this free scheme. So they actually do check your driver's license, when you go to pick them up. But you could, I mean, if you really need them, you could just drive around and get as many as you need, I guess.
Awesome. I really wish that was the case out here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was kind of thinking like I go in there every day, like show my thing, get 4 free tests and walk away. In Portland, we would have to like wait in line for half an hour. And then not only that, but they were making you like, after you took your little rapid test, they made you stand in line again to record the result, which was like, for a rapid test, like,
this is not a good user experience.
it wasn't a
Yeah.
good user experience. And I was like, and plus, like, who's collecting that data? Like, why would you, I mean, I get it for a PCR test, why you'd want to contact trace, but I don't know, for a rapid test. Anyway, though, it was a weird thing in Portland. It was probably like a third party vendor that had the contract to do it or something. And, that's what I was guessing when I was.
Yeah.
Leave it up to America to find a way to wedge a third person in there and make some
Yeah.
money off it.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Yeah. So now I'm actually not sure what advice to give him in terms of stopping his quarantine.
Ooh.
I mean, I think technically he should probably have a negative PCR test before he is contact with somebody, but I mean, that can take a while.
Huh.
How long? So the CDC said 5 days, or did they change that?
They did 5 days, like 5 days from the day. It used to be 10 days from the day you tested positive. Now they're saying 5 days. I don't know. I mean, I guess the CDC is credible. I don't know.
We hope.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We
so
hope
he
it's
tested
credible.
positive on Tuesday,
Wow. So he's got at least until
but he was
Monday.
symptomatic. He was symptomatic already on Tuesday. So
How
Okay.
did that show up?
sore throat.
Man, I would not be surprised if I had this without ever getting diagnosed.
Sore throat. And then so I went over on Tuesday and got his sample to do a PCR, and he got it back negative this morning. So
Weird.
I know, right? That is
So
weird.
weird.
yeah, but so far nobody else has tested positive. So I was like, the worst part is going to be if one of the other hippies like tests positive on like Friday, and then they're all on lockdown for another.
Wow. How many people are in that house besides the guys that came back?
I
from
don't know. There's 7
Oh.
of them. So I don't know how many more there are of anybody
God.
else.
So
I was like, do they
reminiscent.
have enough space? I was like, well, maybe it's good that he's like, yeah, he's sleeping a lot, of course, like you do when you're sick. But he was like, I was like, you have a room to yourself? And he's like, I guess so, until somebody else gets test positive.
Then they throw that
Throw-
in there too. Like COVID jail. Then it just keeps going and going. You can't put those people together. Then you'll get sick again. Achoo.
Oh, it's
Crazy.
so funny.
Oh my
And
Lord.
his kind of his best friend from the commune didn't actually go on the trip with them, but was like, hey, yeah, I'll go to DC, like swing the van by and pick her up on the way back from Alabama to DC. So they did that. And she's like an absolute hypochondriac, but she and Z like spent the first 48 hours like, in bed together watching movies, and then Z gets COVID and she's just like having, oh yeah, she's so anxious.
Freaking out.
Oh, she's
funny.
completely I mean, I put out a call for Xanax for her.
Yeah.
Like I was like, does anybody I know have Xanax?
I
And
do. Do you want me to?
I know. Well, funnily enough, sadly, I seem to be past the age or networks of people who have Xanax in their
No,
drawer.
listen, I've got a whole stash. A good friend like sorted me out before I went off to Germany last year. She was like, she came to my house
What?
with like the good drugs. Like she had all the good drugs. I'm like, Ashley, what are you doing? She's like, I want you to have these. And then she had like a whole bunch of like super specialized CBD stuff and whatnot. She just gave me like a little pharmaceutical care package. She goes,
That's
when things
awesome.
get too much, just take even, if you're not a habitual user, just take a quarter of these tablets. So I have that leftover stash. I mean, if you're in dire need, Laurel, I can absolutely.
Well, I think by the
just crush it,
time
something.
she's either going to conquer herself out or get COVID, I don't know. But I was like, oh, I have these, the gummies that we got the last time.
Mhm.
Dana, I got some pomegranate ones, which are like the chill
Yeah.
out CBD ones. So I was like, I've got these really great gummies. She's like, gummies are not going to do it in this situation.
Well, just eat the whole thing.
I think eat the entire bottle might be more like
Right.
it with their levels of regular consumption.
Yeah, I can understand that. Bless her heart.
anyways, that's what's going on in our life, in addition to it being like 16 degrees every day here, but
Ooh.
it's
You
really
know, it's
cold.
in the 30s or low 40s now, but sunny. I'm
Yeah, at
squatting
least
in the
it's sunny
law
here.
in the
Yeah, at
office of
least
a
it's sunny
lawyer
here.
friend of mine, but it's gorgeous and sunny. We just went for this long walk along the waterfront and had lunch at the Poke Bowl, and now I'm
Oh, nice.
squatting at
Lovely.
my office for an hour before I
Jealous,
finish meeting.
jealous. I'm jealous.
It's kind of nice to be in an office. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
like,
at
they're
the
locked
office
into their
today.
lease for another 2 years. And she's like, do you want a desk? I'm renting out desks. Let's make this a co-working space. I'm like, that's actually interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea.
It's not a bad idea, because as it gets
Yeah.
nicer again, I mean, one of the things I missed about having an office is biking into the office and getting
Mhm.
exercise that way. I'm like,
Exactly. Exercise is part of your commute, or
yeah.
Mhm. Is the space you're in, is that a new space or where you've been working all along right now?
mine
No, this
or
is-
Astrid's.
So this is my
Astrid's.
friend's law firm, and they have this massive, like the better part of a floor in this building that's like in the Northwest, in the Pearl District, right by the Broadside, Broadway, Broadside, by the Broadway Bridge.
Yeah,
And
you're in my neighborhood.
yeah, it's on Marshall and 8th.
Yeah.
It's a Zebra design building, but the
Oh,
back
cool.
side of that has a bunch of floors of office space, and they've got it's like 20,000 square feet. It's this huge space, or 10,000 square feet at least. Anyway, and so no, I've never been here as a tenant. It just occurred to me that her firm is going through some changes, and she has all this space for rent. I'm like,
And
interesting.
is it
Yeah.
open space, or they actually have you're in rooms,
So
or?
I'm in a little private office, but I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but
Oh, that's nice.
like
Mhm.
it's really nice light and
Mhm.
just sort of this
Yeah.
open plan situation. It's
Yeah, now I
not
have to
bad.
show mine. Well, you can see I
Yeah.
sit right in front of the windows, but
Yeah.
oh, wait, you can't see down the hall.
Yeah, you
Oh,
both
no,
got
I
lucky.
guess you can't see it. But anyway, it's all windows down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to say that, that having the studio has done a lot to save my mental health, because we've
Mhm.
all been strained big time. And I think it's important to have a space where you can work outside of your home, if you can.
Yeah, I'm contemplating it seriously now.
Mhm.
I'll have to run the numbers on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How long are you gonna be going back in more often, Laurel?
I'm coming in like once a week now, and I guess for me it's more like I don't have a home office in my house, so I have a table in my bedroom. That's the space that I use, and I still have not gotten a big nice office chair. I'm just like sitting on a hard chair. Like it's miserable. And there's no separation between like your work and your personal space. And so I like, I've got a nice big desk here and a big monitor and a comfy chair and all that stuff. But it is, I don't like it's a half an hour commute for me. So sometimes I walk. It's about a 4-mile walk.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
So I can do that and then
Walk down, take the
walk
bus
down the
back.
hill, and then I take the bus or the subway home. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do have to, then I have to get out the door by like 6:15
Mm.
in order to really get here and settle in for, my day starts at 8 every day usually. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's changed
Nice.
time.
Yeah. But, gosh, I feel like I had something else to tell you guys, but now I've forgotten what it is.
Oh,
Was
and you know
it-
what they gave me? So my friend is also my lawyer for one or several of the companies I'm associated with. But check this out. Check out this beautiful hyacinth.
Oh, nice.
Wow,
Nice.
but that smells
Yeah,
lovely.
the paralegal just came in. She's like, yeah, got you your little New Year's gift. I'm like, "Oh,
That's a nice little workstation too.
I
Yeah.
know."
Was that a standing desk, Astrid?
Yeah, it's a standing desk. I'm sitting at it because the standing part is not configured for somebody my
Mm.
height.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it used to be kind of a big thing to ask for a standing desk around here. And I
Mhm.
see there's so many like people who had them. I was wondering if I can move them to our space, but then I remembered, I think they outlawed standing desks because of COVID. Because like if you
What?
stand up over your
Oh,
cubicle,
right.
right? Because
Yeah.
we're all open space, right? So if I was standing up, like my
Mhm.
sneezes would be going. Technically, I'm in violation of office policy right now. I should be wearing my mask at all times.
My
There's
God.
one other person here on the floor
That was my
today.
next question. How many people are there? Are you by yourself, Astrid?
Right.
Or just one or two other people?
Well, there, I think in this office, I see 4 other people, but again, that's like a 10,000-ish square foot
Yeah.
office, so I'm not concerned.
I have no idea how many square feet this is, but I think our office seats 250 cubicles.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, it's 2 floors.
Hmm.
Wow.
2 floors.
Yeah, that's a different
Yeah.
kind of situation.
Hmm. I wanted to, can we go back to Z really quick? 'Cause
Yeah.
I wanted to say something about his organic farmer experience.
Uh-huh.
How do you think that's gonna change his trajectory? Like, I mean, we know that he's really into that, but
Yeah.
did that,
It's going to be, I mean, I was actually on the phone with Warren Wilson today, the school that I hope he goes to next fall. And we scheduled the call today because he finally has internet and could get on a call at a time that the admission office is open. And then he skipped the call because he slept through it because he has COVID. But
Brilliant.
I got to speak to a very nice admissions counselor, and she was saying, oh, I see that he's interested in like sustainable farming or something. And I kind of laughed. And she was like, oh, is that a new interest? I was like, yeah, kind of. Like, he grew up in one of the world's biggest cities. And now he's like living on this organic farm. So I don't know. I think he's 19, right? So he has some kind, when we were up in the Berkshires, he was definitely like eyeing the land around and being like, oh, I could, completely imagine, buying some acres of land and living on a multi-family plot, and like that's in his head right now. So
that's not a bad idea. I mean, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, he's getting skills. I mean, it's interesting. Like he's, I don't know if you heard, Astrid, he went on the sales trip to a trade show in Mobile, Alabama,
Oh my God.
for organic
Advantage.
farmers to market their seeds that they harvest.
Interesting.
I thought they were mostly wildflower seeds, but that might just be the part of the business that I saw. So them and the neighboring commune plant and harvest these seeds and package them. And, I've always known it's part of the business.
Mhm.
Good
but
for
I
their
guess-
bees.
I guess
They're
their
just-
sales have gone up during COVID, as I think as all gardening stuff has gone up during
Yeah.
COVID, right? But the competition is, I don't know, whatever. They needed to kind of market themselves. They felt like they needed to go out and market themselves.
Huh, interesting.
So 7 of them got in a van and drove across the country, and not in the most direct route, I would say either. I was like, wait, they went from like Nashville to, I was like, instead of like this, but they were like, no, that's where we had a place to stay. So, but he said, surprisingly, he's loved the sales stuff.
Hmm.
Like he's like, I love talking about our product. I love meeting these people and talking it up. So, again, like he's 19, like who knows what he's going to find in life,
Right.
right?
I just think it's exciting when he gets to college. I mean, that's another wide open space that you can explore.
Yeah.
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 It's funny. It's like the second story I've heard of a recent trade conference, which strikes me as a phenomenally bad idea right now.
Well,
like the-
particularly in Alabama. Come
In
on.
Alabama. Well, and my friend's 23-year-old son just went to a trade convention in Fort Myers, Florida,
Uh-huh.
Florida.
for hops. It was like all these beer brewers. So he's like, yeah, we started drinking at 11, and by 7 p.m., like some dude, some trade association is trying to schlep everybody off to a strip club. And then was like, I'm out of here.
Gross.
Welcome to
Ugh.
Florida.
Yeah, like, ugh,
Yeah, it's
super
gross.
spreaders are us.
Mhm.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Florida's, I don't know. It's it feels like the COVID epidemic is kind of moving across the country and, and more or less, it's not ending here, right? But our numbers are way down on the East Coast, except for Florida.
Mhm,
Yeah, it's
mhm.
settled in the south. It likes it down there. It's warm and people are stupid. Sorry,
Oh.
that's terrible.
Ugh,
Yeah.
it's true though.
Right. And there's no support for actual, there's no support for behavior change down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at all.
So,
Mm,
yeah.
no, I'm sorry that you got sick, but I'm glad that he discovered
I think
something.
it's like a bad case of the flu. And then I think really the bad part is that he's locked in this room by himself. But
I know. But he's got his mom bringing tests and orange juice.
That's pretty
yeah,
cute.
Yeah.
That is-
I do the same
Okay.
thing.
Well, should we get going?
Sure.